Our reporter Ngobila Madlala was there.
I'm emotionally invested in everyone, every single one. I just hope to get our home back.
I cannot afford another private school right now because it's going to require a deposit.
Look at the years there. I've got nothing from the school.
Pupils, teachers and parents have been left out in the cold. Bishop Bavin School in Bedford View was abruptly closed on the 10th of June. That's even though it previously sent letters to parents assuring them that the school's future was not in question and that the Anglican Church remained committed to providing pupils with education of the highest caliber. But that commitment was broken in another letter which states the school has now closed. A representative for teachers who wants to be paid says numbers don't add up.
The media has been told that it's 31.5 million. The diocese, the church has told us that it's 59 million. So there's so many different stories. We don't know. All we are asking for is, can you pay us what is due to us?
Parents are feeling betrayed.
We have paid fees. We have paid full fees to the school. We've been told our fees will not be refunded. We were told in a meeting that lasted 2 hours that we will not be refunded our fees. We need to take our children and find another school for them.
The Basic Education Department says the school should have contacted government rather than parents.
When you apply for a license to operate a school, it is the department that approves such. Even when you decide to close, you need to go via the department.
The parents and teachers are now seeking legal advice. Ngobila Madlala, Bedford View, Ekurhuleni.
Let's stay with that story, and I'm joined now by Father Xolani Dluwati from the Anglican Diocese of Johannesburg. Good evening, Father, and thanks very much for your time. This is a very sad time for the school and I imagine for the Anglican Diocese, but it was heartbreaking to see that mother saying, I've paid in full, I'm not getting anything back. Is that really true? Are parents simply not getting their fees back?
Good evening, Jenny. I think where we need to start is to say we understand the frustration, we understand the pain, we understand what the learners and the parents and the teachers are going through. And I must say that we are also equally and deeply aggrieved by this development, how we wish it could have been a different development. And what has happened, Jenny, over time, Bishop Bavin has been experiencing financial challenges, simply meaning it could not raise enough revenues to meet its operational cost and to meet its need. And a while ago, around about 2016, the management and the board of the school approached the church, and the church, of course, being committed to education, being committed to the plight of children, actually supported the school and used the church's money to give to the school to actually help it in its journey. And I do need to say at this point, Jenny, that we also need to understand that the school itself is run by the board. The school itself is an NPO in its own right, and the church itself is run by a separate entity. But because we are a church school, because they were part of us, we ensured and remained committed to supporting the school. And that is why to date, as the church, we have provided almost about 15 million rands of the church's money.
I understand, and that's...
was done.
Sorry, and that is money that is owed to the church, 15 million owed to the church by the school. Total debt for the school is over 31 million. So are you saying the parents are not going to see a cent? Is that what you're telling me?
I think where we are, Jenny, and that's why I'm saying we are deeply aggrieved. And our wish would have been for the parents who have been faithful to paying the fees, the parents who have prepaid the fees, the parents who have made their obligation, have paid the school. But because also of the challenges the school was experiencing, that money could have also been used to run the operational cost of the school. So where we stand, Jenny, sadly, and deeply aggrieved is that the school has no money. The school is financially challenged at this point. And that is why when we had the meeting with the parents, by the way, we didn't just send the letter to the parents. That's why we began to engage the staff personally as the church and the board and the newly board of the school.
I need to come in here, Father. I'm so sorry, because I have given you a chance to explain this, and it seems to me that what you're saying is that you as the church are very unhappy with what's happened at the school, but there's a relationship between the two of you. And if you say these problems, these financial problems have been going on for so long, why did the church not step in earlier? And also, why did you leave it so late? Why was the school allowed to leave it so late? We've got a document from the 30th of May, a statement to the board which says, and I'm quoting here, Bishop Bavin's future as a school is not in question. The Anglican Church remains committed to providing learners with education. That was on the 30th of May. This is why parents are saying they have been lied to, and I'd like a direct response, please.
Jenny, it would not be true to say the church has intervened late. Over the years, there have been intentional interventions, turnaround strategies, mechanisms, which it was on the basis of that the church also financially supported the school. And of course, the letter you are referring to, which is the 30th of May, that letter specifically spoke, and it says that the Anglican Church remained committed. But when the new team went into the school, when the new team discovered that in actual fact, the amount of debt and the amount of this challenge was much more deeper than we anticipated, was much more deeper than we had been led to know. And that is why the team had gone in there with a commitment from the church to actually work on turning the school around.
Yeah, but
the damage was much more...
Sure, I understand, but essentially the Anglican Church is tied to the school. So surely there's some legal liability. We're sitting with a situation, I've just read a lawyer's letter that is being sent to the school. I don't imagine if it would land on your desk too, but the parents and the teachers are asking for a response. They're taking legal action. The teacher's saying there was absolutely no consultation about closing the school down correctly. Furthermore, the Department of Education, Elijah Mhlanga, is saying actually you guys were supposed to contact them, and they haven't heard. So it sounds like there's been a lot of mismanagement and a lack of process just on the surface, and we are giving you a chance to clear this up. And I'm not hearing any clear answers. I simply don't understand how on the 30th of May, Bishop Bavin's future is not in question. The Anglican Church remains committed to providing learners with education. And then in a mere 11 days later, everything's fallen apart. There is a big hole in this explanation.
I think, Jenny, as I'm saying to you, one of the things is that there has been conversations by the members of the board with the Department of Education. And there was a commitment even by the team to at least keep the school open until the end of the year. However, you would recognize that even teachers themselves have not been paid for, partly paid for April, partly paid for May, and there was no money to pay the teachers for actually June. And we couldn't ask teachers to continue when we are sure there was no money to pay for them. And of course, the school is connected to the Anglican Church. But what I'm trying to explain to you, the school runs as a separate NPO, which its own board, which its own budget. And the church does not interfere in the running of schools. We provide pastoral care and spiritual care for the school. That's the role that we actually play. But the board remains the one who runs the day-to-day operations of the school. And of course, had we had more money as the church to put into, we would have put into Bishop Bavin. But sadly, where we find ourselves as a church, we didn't have any other financial resources to put into. And it would be disingenuous to say the church does not support, whilst we equally as the church are standing to lose the 15 million rands that we have accepted, that we have assisted the actual school with. So in actual fact, while we sympathize, while we feel why parents and learners are actually aggrieved, and we actually understand, and if there's legal action being taken, and I'm sure it is their right, the processes they need to be entitled to their claim, and they could continue that particular process. But I think what needs to be understood, the business of the church and the business of the school are two separate entities. The church as a business, the school as a business operates on church land. We do not run as the church the day-to-day happenings of the school. We do not even do their budgets. We don't do anything. But we provide that spiritual and pastoral support. And that is why, even in fact, that is why for the last year or so, the church and became involved in trying to assist the school to find solutions.
All right.
And we've looked at many avenues,
I understand.
even possibly, but those actually didn't work. But I must still say, I feel and I understand the anger and pain of all parents.
All right, Father, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time this evening, and good luck with the road ahead. It certainly sounds like it's a very difficult situation for all involved. That's Father Xolani Dluati, spokesperson for the Anglican Diocese of Johannesburg, responding to the sudden closure of the Bishop Bavin Schools.